Our story begins in 2006, in Lincolnton, North Carolina. About a dozen youngsters, and one 40-year-old man, created their own backyard wrestling organization. They called themselves Ring of Dishonor. Like every backyard fed, the wrestling was atrocious. No one would have noticed or cared, if they simply kept the nonsense in the yard. However, they were under the delusion that Ring of Dishonor was a real independent wrestling promotion. And that's when things got interesting. Ring of Dishonor decided to make the move to the Brookford Community Center, in Hickory, North Carolina. This caught the attention of the local newspaper, the Hickory Daily Record. The article gave the impression that Ring of Dishonor was an actual wrestling promotion. This led to a fantastic turnout. However, the sellout crowd quickly realized what they were watching was not professional wrestling. These were not trained professionals, they were teenagers playing grab ass. The turnout for the next show took a steep nosedive. And by the end of their time at the Brookford Community Center, they were attracting approximately 10 people. Usually family members that were giving them a ride to the show. And yes, family had to buy a ticket. During a show in August of 2007, 3 members of the Ring of Dishonor roster mutilated themselves for the handful of people in attendance. At the end of the night, they didn't bother to clean up after themselves. Blood was left on the floors, and throughout the bathrooms. When the folks at Brookford found the bloody mess, they not only banned Ring of Dishonor from the building, but they banned wrestling altogether. This left some other local promotions figuratively out in the cold, and it left Ring of Dishonor out in the cold, literally. They would spend the next 7 months in the backyard. Eventually, they would find a new home, the VFW in Hickory, North Carolina. Same bad wrestling, same low turnout. They held over a dozen unsuccessful shows at the VFW, and 1 unsuccessful yard sale. Things would come to a screeching halt on September 29, 2008. The VFW received a letter notifying them of underage performers, underage drinking, and minors being allowed into the bar, a crime that could cost the VFW their liquor license. This letter, which contained verifiable facts, was sent by, you guessed it, Ring of Dishonor was back to square one. Backyard shows. For the first few weeks, they tried charging the usual $6, but that didn't go over well. November 2008, Ring of Dishonor came to an agreement with the Lincolnton flea market to use their grounds. However, management got wind of their bad reputation, and the deal was dead before they could hold even one show. A few months later, Ring of Dishonor organized a charity show called Cancerpalooza, but they didn't tell the outside talent that they were keeping a portion of their money. When they found out, they all cancelled their appearances, and the show itself was quickly cancelled. After the Cancerpalooza incident, Ring of Dishonor's bad reputation hit an all-time low. The only way they could attempt to escape their tarnished image was by changing their name. In March of 2009, Ring of Dishonor became Southeastern Championship Wrestling. The name may have changed, but the bad wrestling remained. SECW advertised a family-friendly environment, but the shows frequently featured racist and homophobic content, explicit entrance music, and violence against children. From the backyard, and back again, SECW has shown us that the word quit is not in their vocabulary. Also not in their vocabulary, training, fitness, and safety. But one thing is for certain, the folks at SECW are going to keep doing what they're doing until that raggedy old ring falls to the ground.
That bird with feathers of blue is waiting for you back in your own backyard.